तो दोस्तों आज हम बात करेंगे डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर के स्कूल के बारे में। तो दोस्तों डॉक्टर अंबेडकर ने 7 नवंबर 1900 को सातारा के सरकारी स्कूल में दाखिला लिया था। ये दिन महाराष्ट्र सरकार द्वारा स्कूल प्रवेश दिन के रूप में मनाया जाता है। दोस्तों आज ये स्कूल प्रताप सिंह हाई स्कूल के नाम से जाना जाता है। उस वक्त ये स्कूल पहली से चौथी तक था। चौथी कक्षा तक अंबेडकर इसी स्कूल में पढ़े। सातारा सरकारी स्कूल रजवाड़े इलाके में एक हवेली में चलता था। आज भी ये हवेली इतिहास की गवाह है। 1824 में छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के वारिस प्रताप सिंह राजे भोसले ने इसे बनवाया था। उस वक्त राजघराने की लड़कियों को पढ़ाने के लिए यहाँ स्कूल खोला गया। 1851 में यह हवेली स्कूल के लिए ब्रिटिश सरकार के हवाले कर दी गई। डॉक्टर अंबेडकर के पिताजी सूबेदार रामजी सर्कपाल आर्मी से रिटायर होने के बाद सातारा में बस गए थे। वहीं पर 7 नवंबर 1900 को 6 साल की भिवा ने सातारा गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में दाखिला लिया। सूबेदार रामजी ने स्कूल में दाखिला करते वक्त अंबेडकर का सरनेम अंबोड़े गांव के नाम से अंबेडकर लिख दिया। उस स्कूल में कृष्णाजी केशव अंबेडकर शिक्षक थे। उनका सरनेम अंबेडकर उनको दिया गया। स्कूल के रजिस्टर में भिवा अंबेडकर ऐसा नाम दर्ज है। रजिस्टर में 1914 इस नंबर के आगे उनका हस्ताक्षर है। यह ऐतिहासिक दस्तावेज स्कूल में संरक्षित करके रखा गया है।
तो ये वो स्कूल है जो महू से लौटने के बाद, मतलब महू से आने के बाद, वो 7 नवंबर 1900 में जहाँ उनने पहली बार एडमिशन लिया था। और स्कूल का नाम उस समय अलग था, अभी इसका नाम चेंज करके रख दिया गया है छत्रपति प्रताप सिंह हायर स्कूल सतारा।
अभी आप मेरे सामने दिख रही है, अभी जो ब्लैक बोर्ड है इस पे तो पूरा 1851 से अभी तक का जो जितने भी यहाँ पे प्रिंसिपल हुए हैं तो उनका ये पूरा लिस्ट है। अभी जो बाबा साहब यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पे 1904 तक बाबा साहब यहाँ पढ़े थे। तो उस समय यहाँ पे कौन थे मुख्याध्यापक? जोशी मुख्याध्यापक थे।
तो ये बहुत ऐतिहासिक बोर्ड है, मैं यही ढूंढ रहा था बहुत देर से।
1904।
अब देखो यहाँ पर कुछ बेंचेस हैं, चेयर्स हैं और ऊपर बैठने की जगह भी हैं। चेयर धूल खा रही हैं, लेकिन यहाँ बैठने का आनंद लिए बिना तो हम नहीं जा सकते थे। तो आइए थोड़ी देर यहाँ बैठते हैं, वो एहसास लेने की कोशिश करते हैं।
एक समय बाबा साहब को बाहर बैठना पड़ता था, आज उनके बच्चे यहाँ पर आकर अंदर बैठे हैं।
क्या बात कही तुमने। और उन्हीं की वजह से वो बाहर बैठते थे, इसलिए आज हम अंदर बैठे।
ओरिजिनल नाही ना, साहेब नाही आहेत ना, हे असं कॅटलॉग आहे, इथे नाव आहे त्यांचं। ही झेरॉक्स कॉपी आहे त्याची।
तो यहाँ पर देखिए, ये जो है ना, ये फोटो कॉपी है उस रजिस्टर की जहाँ बाबा साहब का नाम दर्ज हुआ था। ये लिखा हुआ है भीमा राम जी अम्बेडकर सतारा, और डेट ऑफ बर्थ लिखी हुई है 14/4/1981, और ये पूरी डिटेल यहाँ तक लिखी हुई है। फर्स्ट क्लास में एडमिशन लिया था उन्होंने, एडमिटेड फर्स्ट क्लास। डेट ऑफ एडमिशन, ये कौन सी तारीख है?
डेट ऑफ एडमिशन तारीख नहीं लिखी यहाँ पे।
यहाँ पे कंफर्म हो रहा है कि ये 1904 तक यहाँ पर पढ़े, वो क्लास चौथी तक।
1900 से लेकर 1904 तक यहाँ पढ़ाई करते थे। तब के ज़माने में आने जाने का साधन, सुलभ साधन कोई नहीं था। तो वो छोटा सा बच्चा वहाँ से लेकर सदर बाज़ार से लेकर राजवाड़ा तक पैदल चल के आते हुए थे। वो छोटा सा बच्चों को मैं बार बार बताती हूँ, क्योंकि जिन संकटों का सामना उन्होंने किया वैसे ही संकटों का सामना आज के बच्चे मेरे अब जो पढ़ रहे हैं वो भी बच्चे वैसे ही समस्याओं का सामना करते हैं। लेकिन मैं बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर जी के अनुभव उनको बताती हूँ, जो उनको हौसला मिलता है आगे पढ़ने के लिए।
Dr. Ambedkar, do you think democracy is going to work in India? No. Except in a formal sense, if you want. What do you mean? The paraphernalia of democracy, quinquennial elections, prime ministers and so on and so on. Well, but elections are very important. No. Elections are important provided they produce really good men. But aren't they important because they allow you to change a government? I mean, it's better to change peaceably than not change. Yeah, but who has got the idea, you see, that voting means change of government? Nobody has. People have no consciousness. And our electoral system, you see, is of a sort which never allows a man to choose the candidate. Now, for instance, the Congress went and said, vote for what? Vote for Bullock. Yes. Isn't it? Yes. Well, the man never cared who represented the Bullock. Whether it was a donkey who represented the Bullock, you see, or a very educated man who represented the Bullock. He simply voted for the Bullock. Well, but that's common to many party systems. But what you mean by, in a formal sense, you mean that in a fundamental sense, in democracy will not work. For the simple reason, we have got a social structure which is totally incompatible with parliamentary democracy. What do you mean that it's based on equality, inequality, or it is based on inequality? And therefore, unless you can get rid of the caste system, you don't think the social structure got to be altered. I am quite prepared to say, well, it will take some time for the social structure to be altered if you want to do it in a peaceful way. Yes, you see. But then somebody must be making the effort to change the social system. But your Prime Minister and others make a lot of speeches against the caste system. These endless speeches, you see, when Carlyle was presented with a set of volumes by Spencer, yes, you see, he said, oh, this endless speaking acts in Christendom. Well, it's the same sort of, one is sick of speeches. We like to have action. Well, what action do you want? Some program, you see. Some machinery by which the thing could be altered. Some action. Well, but supposing it doesn't work, what alternative do you see? Well, the alternative, as I think, is some kind of communism. And why do you think that would help the country more? Would it raise the standard of living anymore? Yes, it will. How? Undoubtedly. I mean, who cares really for this election business? People want food, people want their material needs to be satisfied. In America, yes, I agree. You see, the democracy works, and I don't think there ever would be communism in America. I've just come from that country. I was invited to give a degree, take a degree. But because each American earns so much. Well, you think you can begin to do that here too? Well, how can you begin? They say we have no land. You see, our rainfall is so short. Our forests have been denuded. You see? What can we do? Well, unless you tackle these problems. But you think, I don't think the present government would be able to tackle this problem. Well, the communists would wipe out more people than that doesn't matter to my mind. You mean the remainder is equal to that? Yes, it would be equal. We always do that sort of thing, But in this country? Yeah, we always do. I mean, in war, you kill people, don't you? Well, you are not sorry because you have killed so many people. Because you find it necessary to do so in order to safeguard your interest. So you really feel that this system is likely to collapse. Yes, I think it will. How soon? Well, pretty soon, probably. My own people, very impatient. And I judge by my people. You see? And who are the lowest rung of the strata? You see, if the foundation of a building begins to collapse, it is first the lowest strata that collapses. You think, you mean my own people are untouchable? They are untouchable. Now, are the communists working among them? No, they are not working because they have faith in me. I haven't said anything.
How would you sum up what you found in it?
Well, I must say at the outset that I feel quite surprised, you see, at the interest which the outside world, Western world particularly, seems to be taking in Mr. Gandhi. I cannot understand that. You see. So far as India is concerned, he was, in my judgment, you see, an episode in the history of India. Never an epoch maker. Gandhi has already vanished from the memory of the people in this country. His memory is kept up because the Congress party annually, gives a holiday either on his birthday or some other day connected with some event in his life, and has a celebration every year going on for 7 days in a week. Naturally, people's memory is revived. But if these artificial respirations were not given, I think Gandhi would be long forgotten.
You don't feel then that he fundamentally changed the aspects of
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, he was all the time double dealing. He conducted 2 papers, one in English, the Harijan, you see, and before that, Young India. And in Gujarati, he conducted another paper, you see, which is called the Deenbandhu or something like that. Now, if you read the 2 papers, you will see how Mr. Gandhi was deceiving the people. In the English paper, he posed himself as an opponent of the caste system and of untouchability, you see, and that he was a Democrat. But if you read a Gujarati magazine, you see, you will see him a more orthodox man. He has been supporting the caste system, the Varnashram Dharma, and all the orthodox dogmas, you see, which have kept India down, you see, all through ages. In fact, somebody ought to write Mr. Gandhi's biography by making a comparative study of the statements made by Mr. Gandhi in his Harijan and the statements made by Mr. Gandhi in this Gujarati paper. There are 7 volumes of it. You see? The people, the Western world only reads, you see, the English paper where Mr. Gandhi, in order to keep himself, you see, in the esteem of the Western people who believe in democracy, was advocating democratic ideals, you see. But you got to see also what he actually taught to the people in his vernacular paper. Nobody seems to have made any reference. All the biographies that have been written of him, you see, are based upon his Harijan, you see, and the Young India, but not upon the Gujarati writings of Mr. Gandhi.
And Jawaharlal Nehru of the Indian National Congress concede to divide India. Fearing a total loss of control, Mountbatten brings forward the transfer of power to August. 2 nations will be created by partition, a secular India and a new homeland for India's Muslims, Pakistan.
I met him first, say, in 1929, through the intervention of a friend of mine, common friend, who asked Mr. Gandhi to see me, you see. And so Mr. Gandhi wrote to me, saying that he would like to see me. So I went and saw him. That was just before going to the Round Table Conference. And then he came to the second Round Table Conference, didn't come for the first. And he was there for about 5-6 months. And there, of course, I met him also and faced him also, you see. Then, once thereafter, he also, after the signing of the Pune Pact, you see, asked me to come and see him. So I went to see him. He was then in jail. You see. But that's all the time that I have met him. But I always say that as I met Mr. Gandhi in the capacity of an opponent, I have a feeling that I know him better than most other people because he had opened his real fangs to me, you see, and I could see the inside of the man. You see, while others who generally went there as devotees, you see, saw nothing of him except the external appearance which he had put up as a Mahatma. You see. But I saw him in his human capacity, the bare man in him. And so I say that I understand him better, you see, than most of the people who have associated themselves with him can say.
So how would you sum up what you found in him?
Well, I must say at the outset that I feel quite surprised, you see, at the interest which the outside world, Western world particularly, seems to be taking in Mr. Gandhi. I cannot understand that. You see. So far as India is concerned, he was, in my judgment, you see, an episode in the history of India, never an epoch maker. Gandhi has already vanished from the memory of the people in this country. His memory is kept up because the Congress party annually, you see, gives a holiday either on his birthday or some other day connected with some event in his life, and has a celebration every year going on for 7 days in a week. Naturally, people's memory is revived. But if these artificial respirations were not given, I think Gandhi would be long forgotten.
दिसंबर की 6 तारीख को डॉक्टर आम्बेडकर का दिल्ली में देहांत हो गया। सारा देश शोक में डूब गया। अंतिम संस्कार बंबई में होगा, ये सुनते ही शहरों और गांवों से लाखों लोग बंबई आने लगे। बाबा साहब अब संसार से आखिरी विदा ले रहे थे। अंतिम यात्रा दादर चौपाटी पहुंची। उन्हें शाही सलामी दी गई। चंदन की चिता में उस महामानव का शरीर लपटों में विलीन हो गया। वे चले गए। सदियों से चली आई इस जर्जरित रूढ़ि को जड़ से मिटा देने वाले इस परम प्रतापी युग पुरुष के जीवन का उज्जवल इतिहास केवल भारत को ही नहीं बल्कि सारे संसार को ये संदेश देता रहेगा।